Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Garage Studio Modelers. I'm Dave Forrest, and this is my good friend
Harvey Lowe.
And in today's episode, a little more progress on the Panther G. Again, this is the Das Work Smart Kit, or Blitz Kit. Blitz Kit. Smart Kit was the Dragon Kit. Blitz Kit.
Oh, it's called a Blitz Kit.
It's called the Blitz Kit. We've got we finished up the camo. And thanks to everybody who posted some comments on the previous video regarding the camo. So it looks like there is some agreement that this was soft edge, and there was also some debate whether that actually carried up to the the tops of the turret and maybe some of the horizontal surfaces. There's no pictures, but I took the liberty of carrying it up. And now the next step on this is really to get a filter on it, to kind of maybe tone it down a bit, and then start doing some washes and weathering, painting up the tools, and moving forward.
Now, when you do filters, do you do it over the whole tank on this, or would you do like a filter for the brown, a filter for the green?
I would do the whole tank, but I might change filters. So I might do, like I would maybe do a color here on the front plate. And then I might do a different color up here, and maybe a different color for the hat, just to vary it up and kind of break it up a bit.
And for our readers, you would use an enamel filter, correct? Because this is an acrylic base. Would that be correct?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And I would use. I typically just make them from oils.
Oh.
Like I have a bunch of oil paints, so I'll just make the. Because I find the filters in the bottles, like, they go off.
Yeah.
After a while. Like,
yeah, they do.
Ball up
they ball up, and then I find if you open it after 3 or 4 months, it becomes clumpy.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and they're hard to mix. You can't get a
So I just take a little bit of oil paint. You don't need a lot.
Yeah.
And you just make what you need, and you have every color choice.
Add to along with oils.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just mix them with enamel thinners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I always use the odorless because they're softer, right?
They are softer. Humbrol's very hot. I like it for washes, but it's a very hot thinner.
Yeah. I love the odorless thinner.
Yeah. Now, what happened if? Let's just say you did it hard edge and the comments come in, would you change it?
No.
Yeah. It's a hobby, right?
Well, there's enough interpretation to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So no, I won't change it.
So everything's on?
Everything's on. So now it's just a matter of moving on to the weather, like filters and weathering and painting the tools.
And of course the tracks and blah blah blah.
The tracks and
right.
Yeah. So I got the wheels off camera painted.
Right.
Again, they're all kind of linked together.
Now what battle would this have been? Berlin?
Yeah, late war Berlin.
Late war Berlin.
And some of the battles leading up to Berlin. Like, this is a conf group that was formed, like an ersatz.
You gonna put a figure on it?
I left the hatch unglued so I could.
Oh yeah, but that's cheating because you just do a little face with the goggles on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the best. Like, especially if it's covered like this, you can't see his face. And that's my kind of figure.
On the figures, Dave. I'm working on a couple of serious figures. I really want to hone in on figures.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and you and I talked a lot about this, right? Where, like that's the next level to kind of give the tank some. Yeah, the vehicle some presence. And
I think
some
I
scale.
started. I told you that I started with figures in the hobby, but that was way back. And I think there's so many new techniques, many new paints now. Because that was in the early '80s.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we talked about like we did a review on that little H30, the Hotchkiss 839, and that figure that comes with it.
Frenchie figure.
The Tamiya figure is outstanding. Like Tamiya, you're knocking it out of the park with your figures.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a little, like, there's one of the local hobby shops at Carefree Hobbies. There's gonna be like a little H39 group build.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. So I'll do that. Put it on the base and use the figure.
What? Just curious. What's the timeline? You've already finished yours.
I've got it primed. I guess the next.
Just for fun.
Yeah, like by end of the summer.
Oh wow.
Type of thing, right? So.
Okay.
So it's coming along. I did struggle. So here's the thing, right? So I always paint the camo with all of the the spare tracks and the tools and whatnot on the camera.
And then you
on the not on the camera,
hand paint them later
on the vehicle, and then go and detail paint them later.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to paint this type of camo that has, the little bit it's a little bit more striking.
It's beautiful.
Like to paint the rear deck.
Yes.
Or not the rear deck, but the rear hull is painful because Harvey can't see it.
Because of the deep recesses.
Yeah, and you're trying to get in.
Yeah.
So
because you did it with ease on.
Yeah, I did with everything on there. So trying to spray in there is a little tough. But you know, there's going to be a lot of mud and dust and weathering back there, and
yeah. But even if you think in the real vehicle, they would have done it this way anyways.
Well, they might have taken something. They might have taken the jack off and.
Okay, but they wouldn't have taken the mufflers off.
Anyway, yeah. So
it would still be a little.
Yeah, they would have removed the jack. They would have and they would have gotten in there. But there's going to be like if there's anything that's going to get weathered in the back, it's going to be the rear. We'll kind of again, weathering is your friend when it comes to hiding.
Yes.
Hiding issues and mistakes,
which is less so on aircraft.
Which is non-existent on aircraft really. Yeah, so it's coming along. Yeah, so you know the next.
And you did this freehand too?
Oh no! I took. Thanks for pointing that out. I took some tape, some of that vinyl tape.
As they do in Japan. That's not
it's for Bolton. Don't do that. Yeah,
that's not accurate. You gotta redo it.
It is accurate.
No, it's striking.
Yeah. So and it's not. Yeah. So I just again it was this. Like again, there was something in the comment about was this just the gray primer?
Right.
Maybe some of them were sure, absolutely. But I found this kind of striking, so I said I'm gonna put this on the vehicle. So again, it's a mix.
Well, Dave,
how historic?
I don't know how to tell you this.
How historically accurate do you want to
Well, there's a guy down the street, just down the street. He's a friend of mine, neighbor. He's an ex-Panther crew. And he told me last week that those barrels were primed and they were not camoed. And he told me to tell you that is very inaccurate. I'm just sharing.
You don't like that candy cane finish, eh?
He said in this German accent, "I don't like that candy cane on your friend's model. I was there." I'm just telling you.
I don't know what color the barrel was. I just tried to survive the war.
Were you? No, I don't think you were. We were at AMPS. You were. I think this was before I met you. Or was it?
It was the
Were
Panzer,
you there?
No, you told me about the Panzer crewman.
The Panzer crewman.
Oh, this is a great story.
It was probably in the 2000s or maybe the late 1990s at an AMP show in Indiana. Okay, and there was I think a British tank crew guy and a German Panzer 3 or 4, I can't remember, tanker. And he's already old back then, but he was well versed and articulate. And somebody asked him in the audience, I still remember, what color was the inside of the engine bay? And his comment, and I will quote, and forgive me, I'm not mocking the German accent, but he said, "What? That is not my concern. I was there and I did not care about the color of the engine bay." And that was the end of it. And I think he was a little bit upset. And, if he's rest in peace, but everyone just broke out laughing.
That's awesome.
And then we thought, well, maybe we'll keep going. What was the color of the knob on the...
Now you're just antagonizing the poor guy.
Well, he told us he lived in those things.
Yeah.
And he froze in those things. He said that living in a tank on the Eastern Front
I can't imagine.
was not good. And they did not care about the colors of this or that. They were just trying, as he said, to survive against the Russians.
That is...
But I just thought that
is great.
Somebody would actually ask that question.
That's an awesome story. I love that story.
Right? So there you go.
Anyway, so we went with a candy cane. We went with a candy cane barrel, which I think it's just.
I think it does that.
I think it's a little striking, and
and you know what?
But I do like all another vehicle. Absolutely throw in a gray barrel because I just think it breaks things up. It makes it look just another feature of the vehicle for sure.
Well, I love it, and I think it's part of the hobby, right? And who's to say that they didn't do this? Is there any type of evidence to say they didn't? So my logic is you could push it.
Yeah, the pictures show that there is some.
So
there is something.
You could, even though it wasn't official.
For sure,
you could.
Yeah. So it's. I think it's walking that fine line between this absolute historical accuracy and artistic
pure
license.
Fiction.
Artistic license.
That's correct.
Right. So just in the for the purposes of whether it's enjoyment or just making something that looks a little bit different or trying to make something pop, right? So
there you go.
So it's a constant...
looks great.
Yeah, thank you.
You can do well with it.
Well, we'll see. I have to get all the weathering up. But I'm going to break this thing, this fan cover back here that has... hold this up here so that has...
The raised fan cover?
Yeah, that has the... Yeah, that was one of the complaints is why did they cover everything off here? I made paint. I'll paint one of these in a primer.
I see.
Right,
I see. Yeah. to make it give it a story.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the tracks will paint, and they won't be camoed because they probably would have taken them off the vehicle. Yeah, and the jack I would paint in maybe a yellow, right? Just and dirty that up, and yeah. So there's.
I find that
the fun part starts now.
The fun part, yeah, but I find that the fun part of those little details and the weathering actually consume a major portion of the time on a model. I find that this basic part, the camo, the priming, it's pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this took a little because of the.
Well, yours was complex.
Yeah.
Because you had to match up this.
Well, and I was what's funny. This is a happy accident because all I was doing was following because I had the turret off on a little jig that I could use that I could move and hold, and I just put it on just before filming, and I was relieved to see that everything kind of lines up more or less.
Oh, you did it by eye?
I did. Well, I just did it off the
Oh wow.
just following the instructions. So I got. I mean, it's a little bit off here, but yeah.
That's okay. I mean, anything could happen when they're painting this thing in the field.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. These were painted in the factory.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these were painted. This is an MNH finish.
Ah, MNH.
Yeah. So there's. Yeah, there was that was posted in the comments. So thanks for confirming that. But yeah, so that's it. So we'll continue.
Update.
Yeah, so we'll continue. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do some on camera work.
Yeah. Okay.
For some of the not everything obviously,
Right.
but maybe painting some how I paint some of the tools, how I deal with the tow cables. Maybe how I weather the exhausts. So maybe I'll do one and then do the other, do one off camera, show it, the finished product, and then do the other one on camera type of thing. So yeah, so more to come. So stay tuned, everybody.
Okay, bye.
So that's it for our episode. Thanks for hanging out for us, and we'll see you next time around. Take care, everyone.